Okay, check it out. If you're looking for a new sport to watch while waiting for the next Jays game, look no further than the world's very first professional team-based arm wrestling league launching this Saturday, the preseason at Henderson Brewing.
Okay, so here for a look live at this new innovative sport is TSN 1050's host Matt Cauz and large man on my right here, Jason Costantini, the co-founder of Team Arm Wrestling Federation. Gents, good morning to you. Jason.
Good morning.
How did you decide to get into arm wrestling? Is it just the fact that you're just like super strong, or is it just like?
Well, yeah, I guess that kind of had something to do with it.
Yeah.
I was always like, I played football in high school. That got me into powerlifting.
Yeah.
And then later in life, when I didn't have football anymore, I did powerlifting as something competitive to kind of keep myself going to the gym.
Yeah.
I got into a battle with cancer, which left me a big scar, which turned into a big hernia, so I couldn't powerlift anymore.
Okay.
And kind of figuring out what I was going to do because of that, I ended up finding arm wrestling and just fell in love with it. The hernia was still a bit of a problem in the beginning, and I've had the hernia fixed since then, and I'm more capable on the table because of that. But I was able to arm wrestle and train and get into it in the beginning, and
it's great.
And that was the first sort of gateway to it. So,
well, I'm so glad that you found this transition and this new passion for yourself.
Thank you.
Matt, you're going to be the play-by-play host. Look, you're no stranger to the show. We've had you talk about all kinds of sports.
Yep.
You've covered everything, but arm wrestling, is this a new field for you in terms of just, how are you going to do it? Are you nervous? Are you ready?
No, play-by-play, I'm not nervous at all.
Okay.
If I was competing, I would be wildly nervous about doing it. What I love about this event is that you can enjoy it really on two levels. You can enjoy it on the most primal level of two individuals who is the strongest, and that's enough.
Yeah.
But there's so much different strategy that goes along where you can see people not as strong that are able to take down people much bigger and stronger than them. So you can enjoy it from the strategy side. I was describing a little bit like basketball. You can just watch basketball, ball go and hoop, me entertained.
Yeah.
Or you can watch the intricacies of how did that one play happen.
Yes.
So it just depends how you want to consume it. So it's a really cool new sport, and I'm really happy it's my second time doing an event.
I'm intrigued you mentioned strategy because I've talked to Andre Degrasse about, the 100 meters. And, to me, I look at the 100 meters, I think you're just running full out for 100 meters. He says no. He paces himself throughout the race here. So, Jason, what is the strategy when it comes to arm wrestling?
Well, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it is a strength sport where it's actually a fight sport where strength is the number one factor. So if we're not near, like if I'm much stronger than you, then it's not a fight.
Right.
But once we're within a certain percentage of strength of each other, then it becomes a complete fight sport. So all the fight science comes into play. So, one of our big heroes, Devin Larratt, he's great at the mind games. He's usually beating people that are bigger than him and stronger than him because he knows how to get in their heads and kind of beat them before the match starts. On top of that, he's also technically very sound. He knows how to pull in all the different techniques on the table. But the fight aspect of it, the technical side of it, is a big part of it. And the three techniques are kind of hook, top roll, press. There's variations of those, but they kind of work like rock, paper, scissors. So if Matt and I are close in strength, even if he's smaller than me, even though he's smaller than me, if he goes to top roll me, which is to try to take my hand this way, which is like to bend my wrist or go over my hand, hook puller is trying to come in and contain him this way. But if he does this correctly with the right technique, he's going to take my hand and do what's called take me out of my power. So my power is when I'm in tight and curled in. But if he can open me up, now I'm in a weak position and he's in a strong position. And that's the kind of fight that happens in
How do you score points? You have to get it down on the pad? What's the...
so it's pinning is touching any part of the hand of the hand from the wrist to the fingertips to the pad, but you can also get what's called a parallel pin. So if Matt were to push my hand down this way, as long as it goes,
if your arms aren't long enough,
as long as it goes on this side of the circle, so his winning side of the table. So if he pins me in the center, that's not a pin. But that's basically the rules. And then other than that, you have to keep your elbow inside this depression. So in the formal version of arm wrestling, they're very strict on the elbows, which causes a lot of fouls. Because we're trying to create a format that's broadcast friendly, this table allows for the elbows to come up by a 3/4 of an inch. If the refs see your elbow come up, it's clear you're not trying to keep it down. So now it's a foul. So it allows matches to continue. And
two other really cool things. One, there's a thing called flash ban, which is the most embarrassing thing if you go down within less than a second. The other team gets bonus points, and a captain can choose to have a small smaller arm wrestler taking on a bigger one, a different weight class, and if the smaller one wins, their team gets more points as well.
Yeah,
fascinating.
That's the real thing that we've done differently is we've tried to create a format that's team-based that allows for all the things that you get in team sports, substitutions, lineup changes, and I've tried to play off other sports like baseball and football to format arm wrestling in a way that it can be presented to the public, that they can follow it and kind of get into it, and then learn the sport after, like Matt said about basketball.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so speaking of teams, I know there are 8 franchises across Canada and the United States. The season is 14 weeks long. I mean, how do these teams get together in terms of, recruiting arm wrestlers? And I know Toronto has its own team competing in the preseason.
Yeah. So Toronto Smoke and Montreal Saints will be the first preseason game. We've had pilot events and stuff, but after doing that, we kind of I decided that the best way to do this, and looking at how other franchises and sports leagues have modeled themselves, was create the franchises. I know all the athletes. I know who can manage them. I know the people in the areas. So just create the environment for them and say, here you go. And that's basically what I've tried to do. So.
All right, fantastic. Jason, Matt, have fun at Henderson Brewery this coming Saturday. Hard place not to have fun, that's for sure. And good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having us on here. Yeah, thank you so much, Nick.
So much,
All right, we're going to have more breakfast right after this.